Welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I need to pull my hair down. Didn't realize I looked like a ragamuffin.
No, this is NXT.
Is it?
You said, welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I need to put my hair down. I look like a ragamuffin. I said, no, this is NXT.
He's the jokester.
That's what they call me. It is 1,000,000 degrees.
How hot are you?
Very hot. You have the luxury of being able to turn on the AC. You just don't want to turn off that light to plug in the AC. Or figure out a new wiring system.
It's such a pain in the ass. Anyways.
I've got the fire escape. I can't turn on the AC. I don't have an AC. I have a fan. Fan's trash.
I'm sorry. You can switch rooms if you want.
No. No.
What that means. So anyways, welcome to the Pinball Podcast. I'm your host, Liz. I'm joined as always by my co-host, Marcus.
What do you think it is?
Don't know.
So we had NXT. The last show before Great American Bash, which is next week. Some a little big stuff, but we had Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed for the North American title, which Swerve won. Bronson lost his title, and in that moment, we knew Bronson was going to the main roster ASAP. He's on the fast track to be buried on main event.
Be nice.
If he's on Raw. If he's on SmackDown, there's hope.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else we had today? We had the qualifier for the Women's Tag Team Championships at Great American Bash, which Io Shirai and Zoe Stark won. We had the setup for the tag team titles. We had Big Alice and Mercedes Martinez versus Tian Sha. It was okay. Oh, they announced the Breakouts tournament this year.
Yeah.
Which will be happening 2 weeks from now. So right after Great American Bash, we have that. Which at the end, I believe there's a title shot. Right, I guess any title?
Yeah, it's almost like Money in the Bank.
Except Money in the Bank is like, it's always supposed to be the main event title, but it seems like the way they showed every title, you can just challenge for anything. I have a feeling I'm already gonna put my prediction out there for the Breakouts tournament. I think Hideki Suzuki's gonna win.
Dang.
Oh yeah, he's gonna win that. Take on Kushida for the cruiserweight title and beat him. And then Suzuki's gonna be their cruiserweight guy. Tyler Rust is gonna be the North American title guy, and then Roddy's gonna be their NXT title guy.
Honestly, fine. I'm here for it. Need Tyler Rust back in a ring ASAP.
Well, the prediction was for Hideki Suzuki, but
No, I'm just saying, like, for that to also fulfill the rest of what you're saying here.
Right.
I don't think Hideki Suzuki is a cruiserweight.
They're all cruiserweights. I think that was their whole intention with building this new stable, is that they're all cruiserweight, so it's pushing their cruiserweight title or cruiserweight division even more. But let me double check Hideki Suzuki. He is. He doesn't have a build height or a build weight. He has 2 heights on Google, but no build weight.
Which height do you want to believe in?
Well, they're both the same, but one of it's like there's height, which is 6'3", and then build height, which is 191 centimeters. Or they could do Suzuki goes for the North American title, and then Tyler Rust is the cruiserweight guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see how this is going to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also NXT, so I'm interested in literally everything that they're doing. So.
I wouldn't say everything. I'm starting to get tired of some stuff.
Okay.
Like Frankie Monet, I'm kind of tired of. I'm tired of her matches. She hasn't really had any great matches.
She just needs a feud, I think.
Yeah.
She's got nothing going on. She's just kind of like this, like, dancy girl.
Mm-hmm.
Also kick ass.
We also had some contention between Karrion and Johnny. We had a thing with Kyle and Adam Cole. And that's pretty much the night. More charging. Somebody's slow ass charger is almost a month in.
I feel sometimes. Honestly.
It's
It's like with my AirPods case, especially because like that takes millennium.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you want to get into the news now that recap's over?
Do. But first things first, I can't see my fucking notes. I am blind as a bat. Like, echolocate them.
Hmm.
Like that?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's my phone. Doing well. I can tell.
Are we at the news?
No.
Okay.
The sign.
You seem all over the place, a little scattered brain today.
It's so hot.
Can like smell
Sweating
the
my
heat.
brain cells out.
Yeah.
The living room smelled bad. I think it's because of the heat.
Oh, I didn't smell anything in the living room.
I smelled it.
And now
Smells
everyone
like
knows that the living room smells. Dang.
If you ever come to our living room, it smells right now, okay? Bookmarks. So, the 4 pieces of news blacked out on me for a second.
Okay.
4 pieces of news. First one is about AEW. Apparently, Inner Circle, specifically Santana, helped to trademark Mike Santana and Born Nasty. I guess maybe they're gonna give Santana name recognition too. Just something. So I realized that Tully Blanchard is Tessa Blanchard's father.
I didn't know that either, but now it seems like so obvious.
No. Because it's not like the most common last name in the world.
Yeah.
That's why I think I don't know when it was pointed out to me, but somebody made a point saying that that's why like the Conan they say it? Conan. His
Or
promo
Conan. Yeah, Conan.
That's why his promo with Tully was like kind of hitting home.
Oh yeah.
Because Tessa got in trouble for saying racist shit. It's like, oh fuck. Wish I'd known that watching the fucking thing.
It was when he said, you should learn Spanish so that you can speak to your grandkids one day.
Go back and rewatch that. So there's been some weird shakeups with WWE. One producer left, and that was Sanjay Dutt. He apparently was with the WWE since 2019 and was working as a producer after he had gotten Achilles surgery.
Hmm.
So left, and there were rumors that Anion, I'm gonna mispronounce this, Saman, who was just recently, I think.
Can you hear that?
I can hear the floor moving. But Canyon Saman was rumored to have left WWE. He was just recently, I think, put into the position of senior vice president of talent development. I think, but did not leave. It's just a lot of weird miscommunication. Meltzer shooting from the hip with news at this point, and it's a little wild. With that said, apparently there is a report going around now that there are major backstage changes expected. This comes after Sanjay left, and there were the rumors about Canyon. Seems like they're going to do something similar to what they did when they fired what's his face?
Big words?
No. The talent guy that I said was a douchebag.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I knew his name for a while. But you remember when they let go a bunch of people? John Cohn was rumored to have been let go.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was right after Trash Bag Gate. And
it was the guy who mailed the trash bag to Natalia.
Yes. So I think that might be coming soon. We expect more releases, but this time they might not hurt quite as much.
Okay.
And
also,
finally,
I just want to say I have a little piece of news that might actually go with that last one, since it has to do with the firing. So it turns out the reason Drake Wirtz was fired, shocker, is due to not following COVID protocols. In fact, Drake Wirtz made an extensive post about it. If you want me to read it so we can laugh together.
How extensive is it?
It's like 2 paragraphs.
Will you give me a dramatic reading?
No. Alright, so he posted on Facebook and then screenshotted the text to post on Instagram, including the hashtags too. That shows how smart he is.
Brainiac.
Alright, so he says, any company that is discriminating against employees that refuse to participate in an experimental medical procedure by forcing them to show proof of vaccination in order to come to work in a normal capacity is violating basic human rights. It's not, though. I questioned, pushed back, and then defied this tyrannical overreach of control. That didn't fit their narrative, and I was punished. Faith is taking a stand and knowing that God has you covered. Okay. I lost my 6-figure job for taking a stand on multiple fronts, and I don't regret it one bit.
Making 6 figures?
Jeez. I mean, he was he was head of the refs.
Yes, he was tenured. Whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go fucking become a referee. I know I've also got to become a wrestler too to be the referee, but I'm still gonna try.
And you also have to share political beliefs that your bosses share.
Sell out.
We all come to a point where we either follow the Lord or follow the world. That decision was easy for me. I know plenty of Christians that would disagree with that. I'd rather...
the Lord create the world?
What?
The Lord create the world, technically, in that... That's your view.
This next part's good. I'd rather flip burgers for the glory of God than sell my soul being part of a cabal that's pushing a deceptive lie that you must mask up or take the jab in order to participate in normal everyday life.
Dude, catch me flipping burgers for God.
Yeah. Just like in like a McDonald's, just flipping some burgers. This one's for you, G. Flip one high up, hits the ceiling. And then finally, the last sentence. A company I thought was patriotic has now bowed to the communist mob agenda. Yes, this pandemic is communist. You heard it here first.
Ever thought that like a tangle of fabric caused this much insanity in people?
You want to hear the hashtags that he has?
Please.
Hashtag religious freedom. Hashtag uncancelled. Hashtag rise up. Hashtag defy tyrants. Hashtag medical freedom. It's not related to anything you're saying right now. Hashtag be strong and courageous. Okay. Tell that to the people who've died from COVID. Hashtag glory to God.
Strong and courageous enough, I guess.
They weren't faithful enough. They were too communist.
Some people, I don't know, man. He's a fucking lunatic.
He is the dumbest motherfucker alive. And yet he was making six figures.
Yeah, I need to be stupider.
And I want to make a joke about him referencing that Vince McMahon is a communist, like noted communist, but we know for a fact Vince is not behind any of the COVID procedures. That 100% is Nick Khan. Vince would never do anything like that. This is only behind
what's gonna get him money in the future.
Yeah, and you like, I got a very strong feeling Vince wanted to just say fuck it and not go any procedures, but then Nick Khan was like, wait a minute, we can't be in stadiums and we can't have our big talent be sick. Or Stephanie.
Some people just exist for us to, like, I don't know, look at him and be like, thank God I'm not that fucking guy. They have a wife and kids. Do they not care that?
Oh, they're probably in on it too. Well, the wife is. I don't know how old his kid is.
Yeah. If I were just like sitting at home taking care of the kids, or maybe she's a working wife. Yeah. If I were working, the kids home, husband comes home, he's like, quit my job because of God. I'd be like,
no, he was fired.
Holy fuck.
Because of God.
Yeah. Well, sure.
He stood up for what he believed in. All right. Well, as much as we can go on about this, this isn't a Drake Wirtz shit on podcast.
Could be. I have one last piece of news for you.
Yes.
So Corbin, some people may have noticed, is officially Baron Corbin again.
Yes.
But the WWE filed for a new trademark that seems to imply that they're going to turn Corbin babyface. Because the trademark that they filed for is Happy Corbin.
Happy Corbin. I mean, I feel like it's so hard to speculate based on these trademarks, because like that could be like Happy Corbin Day, or like a sarcastic Happy Corbin.
I want like I'm a hugger except violent.
Like nobody works the crowd as a heel better than King Corbin or Baron Corbin.
Corbin like becomes a court jester now. Baron, he was a king. Yeah, try this one.
Also, speaking of which, Andrew Zarian actually had some comments on Corbin. He said Baron Corbin is beloved in that company, maybe not by the fans, but I can tell you from a former writer one time told me that he is one of the most pleasant people to work with because he will not be combative and he works with you on stuff. So probably whatever is being cooked up, he's got a say in it. Or is going is working with it to make it better.
That's all I have for news. I just want everyone to know, because I had to deal with this pain. No one else did except for you. I had my brand new Jay White shirt that I forgot about put on, and I was like, I'm gonna have so much fun on the podcast. I did my eyes to match it. I got red hair dye on it because apparently my hair still has dye in it. Nice. After months. Oh.
Also, you left out one big piece of news. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are now married.
Oh, I did. I forgot that they got married.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that they weren't married too, actually, in the beginning, so.
Yeah.
I think they were supposed to get married before the pandemic happened.
Yeah. They might have done what Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner did, which was have like a Vegas wedding and then had an actual reception after like the vaccine. But yeah. Really want to see what Seth's suit looked like.
Oh, I'm sure he was like respectful.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm sure he was.
She's Becky Rollins now.
Becca.
But yeah, congrats to them.
Does this mean she's definitely coming back to SmackDown?
Was there ever a time when they weren't on the same brand and they were together?
I don't know.
Because like they got to travel together. I'm sure that's in like their contract or their agreement, considering both of them are very high up.
Huh.
All right.
No.
Matches and promos.
Matches and some promos?
What was that?
Boy, do we have some matches and promos.
Alright, so tonight's NXT started off immediately with the qualifying match between Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai versus Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. Triple threat rules.
Let me tell you something. This was not an easy match to take notes on. By any means. I got to the point where I was shortening everybody's name and calling them by the first letter of their name, because that's all I could do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Start with Ember, Io, and Raquel. Raquel drives Ember into the corner and then plants Io in the ground. Io then dropkicks Ember, covers on Raquel. Raquel kicks. Io and Ember then team up with a single leg dropkick to Raquel each. And Raquel kind of no-sells it, hits them with a double clothesline. Notes are so confusing. Raquel then drops Io into the top buckle. Ember, however, handsprings. Then Io gets into a position where she's on all fours. Ember basically handsprings off of Io's back. Dropkick Raquel. Then goes up top, hits the Eclipse on Raquel. Shotzi gets in. Shotzi rolls Raquel up, and Dakota breaks the cover. And we're just brawling for a minute. After that, Blackheart dives out onto Raquel. Dakota, Io, and then Ember swantons onto them, and then Zoe is still affected in the ring, and she flies out onto the entire field of women sans Io. Then we went to commercial, we came back. Raquel was spearing Shotzi in the corner, lifted her up, stomped Io down with a boot to the face before unloading Shotzi into the ground. She then lifts Io, who's like way too wily to be lifted. Io then rolls under Raquel, and through. Hits her with a double stomp right after that. That like looked fucking painful. We got Zoe and Dakota and Ember in, and we get a clothesline to Ember and Dakota from Zoe. And then a roundhouse to Ember from Zoe, who kicks Raquel on the apron on the way over. Then German suplexes Dakota. We then get a double basement dropkick to Ember and Zoe. Io gets back in. Zoe and Io begin exchanging blows on Dakota, who is then shoved in the corner. Eventually, she is placed by Zoe. That's the ropes, and Io hits the 619. And then with a missile dropkick. An insult to injury at that point. Shotzi then gets in, sentons the ladies to break the cover. Then get a step up and security to Io and a knee and a combination kick, and then a reverse sling blade, all from Shotzi to Io. Ember gets in. He trips Io, and then we get a sliding clothesline to Io from Shotzi, and then a sliding clothesline to Io from Ember. A dropkick. Dropkick from Shotzi, and then a sliding clothesline from Ember. Get back up, and then Ember takes Dakota out with a fucking massive lariat. Shotzi gets in. Io. Io and Dakota are like against the ropes together. Shotzi kicks them from behind. Ember kicks them from in front. We then get a bridging submission to Dakota, Shotzi, but Raquel saves Dakota's ass. Police then gang up on Raquel and get her out of the ring. And Zoe put Dakota up top. Shotzi and Ember attack them, and then they go for like this massive like human pyramid fucking superplex. And thank God for Raquel. Didn't think I'd say that. Raquel stops them. That. It's good, because I really got like a vibe of somebody's gonna break their fucking neck. So Raquel then plants Ember in the ground. She kicks Zoe away, powerbombs Shotzi. We get a knee from Io to Raquel and another from Zoe to Raquel. Shotzi hits the coup de grace onto Dakota hits the coup de grace onto Shotzi. Kick under the jaw to Io from Dakota, and then a backbreaker from Io to Dakota. Then hits the over the moonsault onto Raquel, who is basically there to save Dakota's ass once more. Ember gets in. I don't know what that says. Ember gets in. Start fighting ringside, I believe. Shotzi sentons onto Raquel. We get a knee to Shotzi from Zoe. And then an eclipse from Ember to Zoe, and then a pump kick under the jaw to Ember from Dakota, and then Io comes through with an over the moonsault on Dakota to win for her and Zoe. Jesus, that's a fucking hell of a match.
Yes, it was a hell of a match, but it was a great match. After that, we had Karrion Kross being attacked by Johnny backstage. As Johnny's getting away, Karrion yells, "That's how it's gonna be, huh, Johnny?" We then get the announcement of the NXT Breakout Tournament in 2 weeks. Just don't be the winner of it. You probably don't know who the winner was in 2019. It was somebody of the name Jordan Miles, aka ACH. Now, ACH was on WWE. He accused his former employer, Ring of Honor, of racism, calling Jay Lethal and Uncle Tom. He received criticism from Booker T, saying he overreacted. But he also targeted like Triple H, Vince McMahon. But he made a very explicit video saying that he quit WWE and stated he refused to work for racists. And he said that Jordan Miles was his quote-unquote slave name. And WWE then officially announced that he was released from his contract, and then he worked the indie circuit from 2019 to 2021 until announcing his retirement like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Meanwhile, everyone else on that that was in that tournament has had a pretty decent career thus far. Aside from maybe Boa, but he's having a resurgence right now.
Boa win?
No, Jordan Miles won. That's why the winner was the only one you don't hear about anymore.
Have they not done this before? I thought that they were saying that they've done this multiple times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They did this in 2019, and Jordan Miles was the winner of it.
No, I meant it seemed like they had done it multiple times in the past. It's really the vibe that they gave when they were doing the promo. Like, it felt like they were like, look at all these winners.
Those were not the winners. Those were all the people who participated in the tournament. And they all have decent careers now, except for Jordan Miles. But yeah, that, I believe, is the only one that they've had. But after that, we get an interview with Bronson Reed. He's asked about the breakout tournament. He said, "This is very cool. Can't wait to see all the fresh faces." And it catapulted me, and he's interrupted by Hit Row. Swerve says, out of everyone that was in it, or no, Top Dollar says, out of everyone that was in it, how did you get the title? Bronson said, hard work and dedication. All you are is all talk, mate. In reference to Top Dollar. And Swerve says, if you're the champion you say you are, you'll put that title on the line against me tonight. Right after that, we get Karrion, Cross, and Scarlett in the ring. Karrion says, last week I got you. This week you got me, Johnny. I am willing to die by the sword I live by. Yeah, you said that a little weird. I am willing to die by the sword I live by. I am curious to know if you're willing to do the same. Johnny, I dare you to walk down to this ring and see how well you fare when I can see the shot coming. Don't make me wait. And then Johnny, from a distance, you hear, you dare me. I'm right here. You think I'm afraid of you? Do you know who the hell I am? Last week, the big bad NXT champion jumped me from behind, and this week I'm gonna beat you at your own game. Buddy, that's my world you're standing in. I don't have a sword, but what I have is actual talent. I'm smarter than you. Austin Theory then attacks Karrion Kross from behind, and then they both together gang up on Karrion. Karrion starts fighting them off. He smashes Johnny to the barricade. Karrion then starts picking up the steps, but security comes in just in time to stop him. And as they're holding Karrion back, Johnny gives a massive super kick to Karrion. Johnny gets away with Austin, and Samoa Joe's there. Karrion gets in Joe's face and says, you did a hell of a job, Joe. And the whole time, the crowd was 100% with Johnny. And yeah, they were popping all over the place for him, and it seems like Johnny might be the one to take it off Karrion, which makes me happy.
To be fair, the Bronson prediction right.
Yeah.
I feel like if we're going by that logic, then the Karrion prediction also has to be correct.
Yeah. Yeah. I said that Bronson would lose the title tonight so that you can go to Raw, get the fast track over there. Can't wait for him to get buried. So then we get Johnny and Austin leaving the CWC. They're getting in a car. Austin, on their way out, says, that was the best super kick I've ever seen. And then we go in the ring to Roderick Strong versus Asher Hale as Diamond Mine's debut.
This made me so happy. I
Did it?
had so much fun. Yes. First of all, Tyler Rust. Second of
Wasn't in the
all,
match.
Roddy. And third of all, also Roddy has friends again, and that's what he needed. He got
And
buddies.
that's undisputed.
Do that. Don't say that in this house anymore. Just an Asher Hale, like they gave me everything. Oh,
Yeah, Asher Hale, who you've seen in one match.
and I am in love with him. Is that a problem with you? Sure.
All I'm saying is you're judging a book by its cover.
That's what wrestling is, I think.
No, because we judged by Johnny by his cover, which was his haircut. And now he's my favorite wrestler.
Maybe he wasn't well written back when he had the bad haircut. Did you think that down through? Remember, we did hate how he fought because he was always being like a scrappy little fuck. And he started fighting like a normal person.
If anything, he fought like a normal person back then, and now fights like Johnny wrestling.
Exactly.
Anyway, you want to go into the match?
Yeah.
Now that you're done fawning over them?
Actually, Roddy hugged Tyler, and that made me like very happy. Anyways, the more annoyed you act about this, the more I'm gonna do it. You have to understand that at some point. Anyways, so it's literally just takedown after takedown for a while. The whole point is that like these are very technical wrestlers. It's gonna be more submission based and like force than it is gonna be like showmanship. So we have multiple takedowns, and then we kind of just start grappling for a little bit. Roddy grabs Asher's ankle, and Hale goes down in an attempt to get Roddy in an ankle lock. Roddy manages to reach the ropes, and gets up on Roddy's back, and Roddy flings him into the post to release him. Then chiropractor Roderick Strong put up for a minute, then align fucking Asher Hale's spine, I guess, over his goddamn knee. And hit Hale with some clubbing blows. They exchanged a couple of punches, and then Roddy hit like a double underhook belly to belly suplex on Hale into a waistlock that Hale broke free from with some elbows, and a spinning back elbow to Roddy as well. However, Roddy does manage to get a jumping knee strike to Asher Hale's fucking jaw. We get just the most bonkers submission. I don't know how to describe it, really. It was just like wrenching his fucking arm back while wrenching the other arm in a different direction. I don't have a name for it, but I liked it a lot. God, I liked this match so much. This is like the wrestling we're going to be getting with this shit. This is everything to me.
That was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun, and I think that that's the style of wrestling I like. That's my favorite. So to know we have like a whole stable that's going to be doing this shit.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing this. This has nothing to do with NXT, but I'm seeing this article from what site is this? From Fightful, actually, where apparently early on, going up to the main roster, Tucker tried really hard to pitch to WWE for him and Otis to be barbecue guys as the name of their tag team instead of like heavy machinery. They would come out with like aprons and be like tailgaters. Said he pitched it like APA style, where if we were never on the show, we would just stand in the back and barbecue. You're not going to tell me we wouldn't get good stuff. We had some good meetings with Vince and touched on some ideas. He seemed to like the barbecue idea. Everything's about timing there. We pitched it, he liked it, but it was right around the move to Fox, and there were other things going on, so it fell by the wayside. We didn't understand how to keep our foot on the pedal. It was something I learned, but it was too late. That could have been so good, especially you get somebody like Pat McAfee on with that.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been great.
And that's why the WWE didn't do it.
Could have the Viking Raiders join them. Have like a big cookout. Would have been great. Otis would have been perfect for that.
Maybe we would still have Tucky.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been upset.
Yeah. Yeah. After that, we then went immediately into Cameron Grimes versus Ari Sterling, another 205 Live wrestler.
I am wondering if this is really indicative of the fate of 205 Live.
Guess we'll see on Friday.
I mean, I don't think they would just dissolve a show one day like they do with releases. But when you've only got 4 guys on your roster,
I mean, they would have to
apparently
dissolve the whole show because the show is literally called 205 Live. If they're not focusing on the Cruiserweight division as its own show anymore, then they can't keep the name 205 Live.
is interesting too though. Tony Nese said that apparently there's nobody from like management or anything like upper levels that ever came to 205 Live shows.
That does not shock me.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, Sterling, the boy that was sponsored by Taco Bell. Kind of love him, but I also kind of like don't. It's hard to explain. So Cameron and Ari do that fun little thing where they dodge each other's moves and like jump over each other. It's like leapfrog. Before Ari hits a flying head scissors, Grimes then gets some chops in before a Hurricane Rana. That looked fucking nasty. Grimes then got out on the apron. Ari was ringside at this point. He pulled Cameron off the apron, so he hit his face into the apron. And then hit a springboard moonsault that I've literally never seen before, and that was the fucking coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Then got double knees to the back of Cameron. And a knee to the midsection that sends Sterling head over heels. And a step up Fury in response to Cameron. Ari then managed a kick to the back of the head. He goes for a 450 splash, but Grimes moves out of the way. Ari lands on his feet, but gets crushed by the cave-in stomp for Cameron to win. And I'm wondering if this... Well, no, it doesn't have any weight. Okay. I don't know if you want me to go into what happened after this. You want to.
Yes, LA Knight comes out. I didn't catch what LA Knight said, because I was kind of tuned out after the match at that point. But that Cameron Grimes says, you want to talk about Ted? Come in the ring. All you wanted is some bling. Next week, I take that bling from you. LA Knight says, yeah? Yeah? You want this title? You want to fight me for it, dummy? Why don't we go ahead? Nah. Because you don't deserve it. Actually, you know what? This title wields a lot of power, dummy. I feel like I got everything I need, yeah? There is one piece missing. Yeah? And the transformation to the $1 million man, dummy. The $1 million dummy. If you're so hot to get this week I had trouble finding my glasses. Great American Bash. Me, you, this title on the line. But if you lose, you become my butler, dummy. You become my dummy. Butler? I ain't got no problem with being a butler. As a Great American Bash, I'm gonna leave a champion and go to the moon. And then we go to an interview with Zoe Stark and Io Shirai. Immediately, Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae walk in. Indy says, "We're a real team. We're a family. You guys aren't even friends." Zoe says, "We have mutual respect, and that won't stop us from winning." And I said, "That is lame as shit." Candace said, "That's so cute. After we beat you, I'd watch my back if I were you. Io right here tends to be a bit of a sore loser." Io gets in Candace's face and says, "You have never beaten me. Next week, we become champions." And then we go to the ring. This is a very promo heavy episode in case you couldn't tell. We
Good.
got Kyle.
It was building.
Huh?
I said it was good. It was building.
Yeah. We got Kyle O'Reilly in the ring. He says, "My whole journey, this whole journey has been testing myself. I just want to fight dudes who can make me better. Next week is just that. Kyle and Cole too. Cole and O'Reilly too. The last time we fought, it was violent and gritty. After getting my hand raised, I proved to the world I could one day be NXT champion, but Cole refuses to see this. It's one excuse after the next. So, Cole, why don't you come down and give your excuse now?" Adam Cole then comes out, but immediately Samoa Joe walks out. He says, "Gentlemen, please excuse my interruption. With respect to your safety, I came out here to make sure none of the events of last week would proceed tonight. Have at it." And then Cole says, "Before I was interrupted, I was about to say that you have made it clear so badly you wish you could be in my shoes. You probably go home and pray you'll have half my career. I was doing some thinking and I figured you out. You're obsessed with me." And then Kyle doesn't make the most convincing argument and says, "Obsessed? Obsessed? Okay, let's unpack that. I beat you. Put you in the hospital. When you come back, you pick a fight with me at every turn." Cole says, "You are so delusional. You need a dose of reality. The fact is, Kyle is nothing without Adam Cole. This goes so much deeper than NXT. Nobody would be talking about you if it wasn't for me. Go back to all those moments. When you go back and watch them, who do you see? You see me, the guy solely responsible for every ounce of success you had. I was the star of the Undisputed Era. I am still the star. The entire world knows it. The NXT locker room knows it. Smojo won't admit it, but he knows it. Even your wife knows it."
Me sitting over here forgetting that Kyle's married. I was like, wife? What are you talking about?
And Kyle said, "Don't ever mention my wife again. I'm ashamed I ever associated myself with you. I'm ashamed it took me this long to realize what a pathetic human piece." And then Cole knocks the mic out of his hand. They're kind of butting heads with each other. Cole tries to punch Kyle, but Kyle ducks it, gets Cole into a heel hook, and then Samoa Joe just watches. He just watches.
He got premium grade A Adam Cole heel bullshit. Him just screaming, "Joe, get him off me!" the whole time. Oh my god, I love it. I want to show you specifically. There's a funny clip that made me think of this. Where like he's in a submission hold. I think this was like during Ring of Honor. He's in a submission hold and like he screams at the ref to like help him for like clinging to the rope after the ref gets the other guy off of him. I loved this. I really did.
And then Joe leaves, and then the security team finally breaks them up. But yeah. Also,
I said that's not my problem.
Also, I realized, I was thinking back about Happy Corbin and what that could be. What if his name is just Happy? Like, that's his first name. And, like, he's been using the names Baron and King to kind of cover that up. And maybe, like, we get a promo with, it would make sense to be Gable. If Gable says, "Hey, I found out what your real first name is. Happy. So you know what? Let's call you Happy Corbin." After Corbin made him Shorty G. feel like that would make sense from a storytelling perspective. And would be a little fun.
I could see that working.
Kicking a man while he's down. Anyway, where were we? We had a promo with Tian Sha. Boa said, Jake Atlas, you made a big mistake. Zaya said, Mercedes, there's no road of return. It's time to destroy. Thought I said destiny, not destroy. Then we go to Hit Row. Top Dollar says, let's get this money. Shantae's telling to Swerve, you look good. Then Swerve looks at the camera and says, Bronson, Reed, tonight you're going to find out why Swerve is just different. And then we get Jake Atlas and Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li and Boa.
Let's start by saying, I hope Mercedes is okay.
Yes.
Start there.
A bad bump. Bad bump.
Good. Don't worry, this match is relatively short, so we'll get into that really quickly. So we start the match with Jake versus Boa after it kind of was like Mercedes going after Xia and Jake going after Boa, and then it kind of split off. We get an uppercut to Boa and then a boot to the face. Jake goes to Irish whip Boa, but Boa hangs onto the ropes and reverses, gets Jake in the corner. Jake sends a boot into Boa's face to create some space. And then he hits like this he does it all the time, but I always forget what to call it. Kind of like a springboard arm drag. Goes off the top rope. Hey, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
What that is?
Say it one more time.
Springboard arm drag thing that he always does. I feel like that had a name and I can't remember it now.
Not that I know of.
He hits that, lingers in the fucking air for a little bit before going down, which was actually fucking insane. It looked like the best one of these arm drags that he's ever fucking done. And Mercedes get in after that, though. We get a kick under the jaw to Mercedes and a forearm. And then Mercedes hits Xia with a big back body drop. Mercedes then screaming at Mei Ying from the ring. Boa gets involved. I don't even know like where this match went here, but Jake ends up launching Boa to the ground, like sends him over the ropes. Mercedes then sends knees to the face of Xia. She goes for a pump knee strike, but Xia gets caught. Xia goes for a pump knee strike, gets caught, gets put up top. Mercedes hits a double underhook superplex, and Boa breaks the cover. Jake then lifts Boa. Mercedes goes off the top rope, hits him with a clothesline, sending him to the ground. Then Mercedes stares at Mei Ying for a little while. And Xia attacks her from behind. We get like a Saito suplex to Mercedes. We get a roundhouse. Fucking clocks Mercedes. Mercedes hits the fucking decks.
She
in like
ragdolled.
Yeah, like you can tell when somebody's like when they get hit and they're like down and like but they kind of catch themselves. Mercedes went down like this. I said, okay.
She went down like in a World Star video.
And I think that's why, because you made a point when the ref was counting that shoulders were up. I don't think that she meant for them to be.
Yeah.
So, ref off screen calls the fucking match. Says, hey guys, this is done. She can't fight anymore. Then we don't see Mercedes or Jake again for the remainder of like the shots inside the ring area.
Yeah.
That was when I knew. I was like, oh no.
And there are reports, or Sean Ross Sapp made an update saying that they're taking Mercedes Martinez to the hospital for further examination.
Yeah, that's and it was a moment I was like, fuck, that looked like hard. That looked fucking like nasty.
Yeah.
Then Mercedes like hit the ground. I was like, that seems a little weird. It's funny because like after you watch this stuff enough, kind of know what's real and what's fake.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you can't see the wrestler anymore, it's like something happened. Best wishes to her, dude. That fucking sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. But moving on from that, we had an impromptu promo between Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa and MSK. They all get in the ring holding chairs. Ciampa, or they all sit down across from each other. Ciampa starts off saying, "You want to know what the difference between y'all and us is? We make this look good," as in the being in the chairs. "But it's okay, I'll sit in your chairs with your titles. Next week, I don't know if you will understand this, but the champs are the underdogs. Old Double T here has never held gold in NXT, and this man right here is hungry. Timmy isn't a man of many words, but look at him. Really take a look at him. This man is motivated, and me, and the entire world already know there ain't nobody alive that elevates a title like Ciampa elevates a title." And this whole time the crowd's chanting Ciampa and Thatcher, not giving any love for MSK, so I think we know how this is going to go at Great American Bash.
Don't get it. Don't get it.
I don't either. Nash then says, "Excuse me?" Ciampa then says, "Show the man Thatcher screams, "Show the man respect." And Wes yells back and says, "No, you listen. Now we respect you. We applaud you. We hear everyone talking and we get it. It's time for you to put some respect on our names. We get it, we're the young guys. We may be the underdogs, but you are the challengers." And Nash says, "And next week, your challengers will find out why MSK are the tag team champions." And then Wes said, "I don't think they heard us." And Thatcher then attacks them. It felt very awkward. I don't know what happened, but like Thatcher tried to like headbutt them or something and then like got staggered. But Nash and Wes didn't look like they got hit at all.
This was a weird fucking promo.
Yeah, Carter fought back. Ciampa holds back Thatcher. And he says, "Next week I want you boys to bring your pride. I want you to bring them titles because we're taking them both. Tonight you get a free one. Next week you won't be so lucky." We then go backstage with William Regal in an interview. He puts over Great American Bash in a breakout tournament. Saray then walks in and says Saray wants a match. Someone like Tony Storm. Regal then says, "I'll take that into consideration." We then get an interview with Karrion Kross. Or attempted interview. He says no comment. Or he's asked about a comment. He gives nothing. But then he's charged by Austin Theory. But Theory's repelled by Karrion. But Johnny comes in, starts beats on him with the door of the car. He says, "Anytime, any place, anywhere, Karrion is not on my level." Karrion then chokes out Johnny. He says, "Say something funny, Johnny." Elbows Austin Theory. Him and Scarlett get in the car, drive away. Looks like they were gonna run over Johnny. But we then pan and Samoa Joe's there holding up Johnny, avoiding the car.
Fuck.
And Samoa Joe says, "This time you may have pushed him too far." And then drags him back to the CWC. And then finally, our main event, Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed for the North American Championship.
Good boy. Right. How many pages of notes do we have here? Only 3. So we get an arm lock on Bronson. He can't get out. Swerve then transitions into a suplex position, which at the time I was like, Swerve, that's so silly. You're so silly sometimes. Clearly he cannot do it in this moment. He then, Reed gets a side headlock on Swerve. Swerve then gets Reed into a triangle submission hold, but Reed lifts him. Swerve goes to jump at Bronson, and Bronson swats Swerve down. Scott is then lifted once again, dropped onto the ground. We get a chop to him. Reed then rips him from the ropes and falls onto him in the same fluid motion. We then go out onto the apron. There's a headbutt to Reed. A chop to the thigh of Reed that Reed sells incredibly intensely for a slap. But Reed then lifts Swerve into the ring. Swerve kicks Reed's knees through the ropes. Then he slips down like he's gonna powerbomb Reed, and Reed just sits on his chest. We go to commercial, we come back, and Swerve is in the ring again with Reed, ranking on his head. We get a big chop to the chest of an apron-bound Swerve, and then Swerve jumps into the ring, wanting the suplex, and after a kick to the knee of Reed and a bounce off the ropes, he manages the German flex. Swerve then goes up on Bronson's shoulders, which becomes like a sleeper hold on Bronson. Bronson tosses Swerve over his shoulders to the ground. A neck breaker of sorts, and then Scott looks like he's going for something. I don't really know what. Reed stops him, clotheslines him inside out. Swerve then drop kicks Reed. Reed hits him with a fireman's carry takeover. And then slams Swerve to the ground with sheer mass, and sentons onto Reed. Then Reed goes out to ringside. Reed goes up top, sorry. He goes up top first for the tsunami, but Ashante pulls him down. Reed's like, what the fuck? Okay. And Top Dollar, for whatever reason, he runs at Bronson. Bronson sidesteps him. Top Dollar goes through the fucking glass barricade, or the plastic barricade with the chain link fence over it. And I was like,
the plexiglass.
what happened? Yeah, thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, he's dead.
Like,
somebody should check on
there wasn't so much. There wasn't like a ton of build up to that moment, because like it was Ashante that was like being the aggressor, and then just Top Dollar out of nowhere, and I was like,
some say he's still there
to this day. So then Ashante is thrown out into the same spot as Top Dollar. But once Reed goes to get back in the ring, he gets kicked in the head, and Swerve hits a 450 splash on the back of his neck. Hits him in the ring, pins him. All the fucking day. Swerve is your new North American champion.
Yes. And that is the episode. The full card updated for NXT Great American Bash, and his 4 matches: Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly 2, MSK versus Ciampa and Thatcher for the tag team title, The Way versus Shirai and Stark for the women's tag team title, and then LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes in a $1 million championship versus Butler stipulation. It looks like a great ass card where each match is going to get a lot of time, and also the battery is going to reach 100%. So probably the return of Tegan Nox.
Then Tegan Nox drives a wedge between Raquel and Dakota, and then they break up, and then Dakota goes for the title, and then something happens.
I think Dakota might, or Tegan might catch Dakota when she falls, and we'll get that tag team again.
Take it.
But yeah, it's looking like a great card for next week.
Excited. And I love that NXT does this.
Mm.
They give us like themed episodes.
Yeah. But the big thing that's missing is Johnny versus Carrion. And we just had a takeover this month. So it doesn't seem like they can really save it for a takeover, since another one would probably be 2 months away. Unless they plan on doing another special episode, maybe in July. In addition to
American
Great
Bash.
American Bash.
I was gonna say that's in July.
I don't know if there's
No.
been any special episodes that didn't have to do with like a holiday or something.
Not sure. I mean, they also might just have Carrion drop it on a regular ass episode.
They might,
Happened
but
before.
considering how over Johnny is with the crowd. Oh, Miriam did say they did Super Tuesday last year. That's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible, yeah. Yeah, I think it was for Labor Day. But yeah. I'm excited. I'm hoping next week will be really good.
We don't do predictions for Great American Bash, do we?
No.
Okay, good.
Not a pay-per-view. Alright. So. Best of the night. There were some really good promos mixed into today. Let's see, that's Raw. Here's NXT. So first promo, Karrion Kross attacking Johnny backstage. That was very short. The announcement of the breakout tournament, that was pretty cool. Bronson Reed's interview was fine. Karrion and Scarlett in the ring confronting Johnny. That was great. I love this theme of completely putting down and destroying Karrion. Like, it seems like out of kayfabe. Like, Adam Cole was like, you're overrated. You've got nothing. Johnny says he has no talent. It doesn't stop.
So, can we quickly discuss Adam Cole going after everybody's significant others at this point? It's the vibe.
And him and Samoa Joe could have a feud. And we know what happened with Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. Oh,
Brit.
Wendy! Oh, Britt!
We're not allowed to go through that door, Mark.
Oh, Ronald!
Alright, fair enough.
For those who don't know, that's an up, up, down, down reference.
You don't know. I don't know what you're doing with your time.
But, yeah, this was a great promo. Johnny's got a lot of charisma, and him going up against the wall that is Karrion is some really good stuff. And Austin has been doing some great work with Johnny too. So this promo is really great all around. We then had LA Knight's confrontation with Cameron Grimes. That was fun. Zoe's and Io's interview with the Waves interruption. That was fine. Kyle in the ring with Cole. That was great. That was a great ass promo between them. Because I think we saw Cole got over more than Kyle. That's what I got from the audience. Yeah, I don't know like what that might mean for this. I think Cole's gonna come out of Great American Bash on top. But I was thinking that before this promo anyway. But yeah, this was a fantastic promo. These two guys are really good on the mic, and Cole does not hold back at all, in the slightest. We had Tiana Shaw's promo, very similar to Bohemian Rhapsody. We had Hit Row's promo, which is fine. Thatcher, Ciampa's, and MSK's promo was very weird. It didn't feel like any progress was made on it. MSK never really made a good argument for the crowd to be on their side. They just said, put some respect on our name. We're young. That's it. That's all they really said. William Regal's interview where Saray makes a challenge to Tony was fine, and then Cross's interview, that was fun, because we got to see Johnny just go all out on Carrion, and then Joe dragging Johnny by the collar. But promo of the night, have to give it to Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Their promo was too good.
It was fucking hilarious.
Alright, so Wrestler of the Night. I don't know. Also, if you have a question for our question segment, leave it in the chat. And we'll answer it when we get to it after the bests of the night. Alright, so this one will be a little tough, but we started off with the 6-woman tag match, or triple threat tag team match for number 1 contender. I'm gonna go with Shotzi for this match. Shotzi tried a lot of new stuff in this match. One move didn't work out, but she still recovered really well. I forget what the move was, but she tried to do like a German suplex and roll over, I think it was Zoe, but she couldn't quite get the roll, so she just held the pin and then did another, I think she did a submission right after that, which she was probably supposed to roll into. But she recovered really well. And she just did so well in this match. She's such a talented wrestler. I can't wait for her to just be completely ruined by the main roster. It's gonna suck so bad. After that, we had Roddy versus Asher Hale. I'll go with Roddy. Asher didn't really get in any offense, so this was all Roddy. Plus, the man is an incredible wrestler, like one of the best pure wrestlers on the roster.
I'm so glad that he didn't go up to the main roster.
Yeah.
This is the wrestling that we need to see from Roddy that we hadn't been seeing in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm really thrilled with this.
Then we had Cameron Grimes versus Ari Sterling. I'm going with Cameron Grimes. I mean, Cameron was fucking mean in this match. There was one move, I can't remember the name, can't remember what exactly he did, but it was gnarly. Oh, it was catching Ari Sterling into the Death Valley Driver. That was great. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Bronson and Swerve. Never mind.
Yeah.
I know Cameron did a really cool ass move before the cave-in. I can't remember, but yeah, Cameron was still fantastic. Then we had the mixed tag match: Mercedes Martinez, Jake Atlas versus Xia Li and Boa. Jake Atlas was fun to watch. I didn't really enjoy watching anyone in this match besides Jake Atlas, so yeah. And finally, Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed. Definitely Bronson. Like I wanted to reference with Cameron Grimes, that Death Valley Driver where he caught Swerve midair was great. And then just casually avoiding Top Dollar to crash through the fucking barrier. Bronson's such a good character. He's such a good wrestler. I hope he goes to SmackDown so he's not butchered by Raw. But for Wrestler of the Night, I don't think you'll agree with me, but I'm gonna go with Shotzi Blackheart. She's the only one on the roster that really tried new stuff today, and really wowed with her just vast variation of moves. Like, she's got a massive move set. When we see something new every time she wrestles, whether it's new in its new move or a new thing in that she crashes into the barrier and almost brains herself.
Guess I'll go with you.
Okay. I
well,
mean,
when you use that logic, I don't really know who I would use against that logic.
yeah. I mean, performing today that would really make a that would really like be any competition would be Roddy. But I mean, it's Roddy in a squash match. There's not going to be a ton to compare to Shotzi.
I mean, glad you at least brought that up, because in my head I was like, Roddy is a contender in my eyes. Just wish the match had been longer.
Yeah.
If the match had been longer, then it definitely would have been. I would have gone to the nail on that one.
Mm-hmm. All right, so match of the night. Start off with the triple threat tag match. That was a ton of fun. Probably like one of the best triple threat tag matches I've ever seen. It was such a great use of the triple threat format, and like so hard hitting, but so much variation in everyone's styles. It was just done so well. I loved it a lot. Thought it was a fantastic match. Then we had Roddy and Asher Hale, which was a good match, but definitely suffered from it being booked to be a squash match. Unfortunately, it was nothing more than that.
The potential though gets me.
Yeah. Yeah, there's potential.
Not potential.
For next week or the week after.
Nice. Be nice.
Why do I have to be nice?
I'm asking.
Then we had Cameron Grimes and Ari Sterling. Again, this was meant to be a squash match so that we can get LA Knight confronting Cameron Grimes. But it was still fun. Definitely wasn't as fun as as the Roddy Asher Hale match. But it's still pretty fun. It was great to see Cameron Grimes showing off his moveset some more. And Miriam said, especially given Asher Hale's MMA background, it could have gone longer and been a more serious one. Yeah. Maybe.
I think if they build up Asher to a good degree.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Should probably be like 3-4 weeks from now after the breakout tournament.
I think Asher also needs to get a personality like
in
NXT.
Yeah. I mean, he just got new gear that was very different from his last look.
And remember when he fought Tyler Rust and he had the
brown
same trunks, basically like the same color trunks. So I was like, what? I have some hope for this because Ari Sterling is getting more of a personality in NXT. So I'm holding out hope.
Yeah. We have yet to see Grayson Waller though. And he's the real personality in the 205 Live class. Like he's the doofus heel, so how many people are in the breakout tournament? I think it's 8. So there's Ari Sterling, Asher Hale, Grayson Waller, Ikemen Jiro. That's 4. Probably Hideki Suzuki, if my prediction's right. There were some other names. Like, who else was in 205 Live? Was it just those 4? The 4 new guys?
I think so.
They bring in some new people or something for this?
Excited to see who they do bring in for it, though.
Maybe Top Dollar?
Yeah, well, they showed a clip of him when they were talking about, like, what star is going to be next, you know?
So, maybe Top Dollar.
Celebrity.
I wouldn't say Ashante's new talent. That's 6. They've got room for 2 more. Trying to think of other new talent. Maybe like Parker Boudreaux or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Someone to be like a squash match, but that'll probably be like Sterling and Hale, Asher and Ari.
Oh. I want to say Tyler, but I don't think that they would do 2 people from Diamond Mine.
Yeah, I don't think he's new talent. Like Top Dollar is definitely new talent.
I thought they took him away from us for so long, and now they're like, he's not new talent. Well,
He's being managed by Malcolm Bivens, so he's got it good
no.
already.
Having such a good day.
Oh, Adam Cole.
Hasn't broken out yet.
Yeah. He needs more.
Of his own fucking hell in a cell. Mental hell in a cell.
It's like he goes into fucking the breakout tournament, like they announce him as Ronald. He walks out with like the fake mustache and sunglasses.
Despite all his rage, he's still just a rat in the cage.
Yeah. Or like,
Oh, he is a rat in a cage.
what if they announce they announce against like Asher Hale? Out comes Fan Bolar. It's Finn dressed in like the demon costume, but with a fake mustache.
I miss Finn so much. You don't even understand. That would make me happy.
Yeah.
I know, and he's weird because we haven't heard anything about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, there's that other guy, the guy who just fought Adam Cole and Kushida.
Carmelo
Hayes.
He'd be in it.
That's like a 7th one, right? So you need like one more. Wasn't there another guy who fought Kushida for the... Or was that Asher Hale? I can't remember.
It wasn't Asher, because I would have been a thirsty little bitch about it.
I'm gonna take this time to look it up right now. Hold on. I got this. Oh, Trey Baxter.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's Mariam said it before I could even see it. So it's Trey Baxter, Carmelo Hayes, Asher Hale, Ari Sterling, Ikemen Jiro, Grayson Waller, Hideki Suzuki, and Top Dollar. There's your 8.
I would sign off on that.
And then going back to Best of the Night tonight.
No.
I can scroll all the way down again. So we had the mixed tag match. You all know how we feel about mixed tag matches. They're pretty lame. This one was no exception. Feel bad for Mercedes though. And then finally, Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed. This was a good match. It was a fun match, but like it definitely suffered from it being very impromptu. You seem to be struggling a lot right now, so I'm just gonna keep talking while you do your thing.
My glasses are dirty. There was a bug.
Oh, was there a bug?
Bug.
Oh.
It was a mosquito.
But yeah, this match definitely suffered from it being impromptu. It didn't feel right for Swerve to win. Like, it didn't feel like there was the right build-up for it.
I do wish that there had been more. It's hard because I think Swerve definitely deserves to have this title.
Yeah.
But I wish that like he had like a story going into a story with Bronson specifically.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. My pick for match of the night. The triple threat tag team match. What? What?
Fine.
What?
Fine.
There's nothing that contends.
My Diamond Mine agenda won't get over tonight. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, sorry, a squash match won't pass for match of the night. Alright.
Have anything in this world, can we?
So to run it back, promo of the night, Adam Cole faces Kyle O'Reilly. Wrestler of the night, Shotzi Blackheart. Match of the night, triple threat tag team match between Shotzi, Ember, Zoe, Io, Raquel, and Dakota. You want to answer some questions? If anyone has any questions, let me refresh the YouTube. The
Um,
YouTube channel.
I wanted to say that, also tonight, once
Hmm.
again, we kind of had one of those nights where nothing felt super mid-cardy.
Um.
I think Cameron and Ari Sterling definitely felt very mid-cardy.
Yeah.
Can't say that about Diamond Mine because Diamond Mine just came back, so I can't really judge where the fuck they're supposed to be.
That does. It's hard because Roddy is not mid card. He was on very much like main event card by the time of his release, or not release, at the time of his departure. But he's definitely in the mid card field right now. Oh no,
Yeah.
there was 100% a mid card match. It was the mixed tag match.
Oh, I actually kind of eliminated that from my brain because I felt so bad about how it ended.
And you know what? The little tag team face off that we got with Ciampa, MSK, and Thatcher, that felt mid cardy.
I hate this version of Tim. Really do. This is not my Tim Tam Thatchy Thatch.
I miss when he was a teacher.
The muscles ready for the match.
I mean, this Ciampa has been really good. Ciampa's been putting in a shit ton of work, but Thatcher isn't at his best.
Like Ciampa, I feel like he's very one note.
I don't think so, because I think this was a great promo from him specifically, like just him alone. It doesn't help that MSK are very flat. Like they're the peppy faces. That's their thing. They're the faces. Faces don't have much.
I enjoy listening to them talk.
Yeah. I mean, they were fun at the Dusty Rhodes trophy thing when they had the popcorn with Beth. They're
I
great
think they're
as
just
like.
not being written well right now, honestly. And I hate to say that about NXT, but I don't think MSK is being written well.
I don't think they need to be champions. If they're not champions, they would be a lot better.
Remember in the good old days when we had
Rizongo.
team camps that were fuck.
All right. Miriam has a question. She asks, "Are there any NXT UK stars you'd like to see come over to NXT US soon? Since we've seen what the main roster has done to the NXT UK stars."
Just say thank you, Miriam, for always having a question.
Don't say Ilya. And I'll tell you why.
I was just thanking Miriam for her question.
No, I
I've not
was.
thought about this.
Ilya, if you removed Ilya from NXT UK, you would be removing a ton from that show.
No.
He's crucial to NXT UK. I would definitely pull Kaylee Ray if she's not already coming.
They've got to build up their women's roster a little more, I think, before they take Kaylee out.
Aoife Valkyrie. So I'll do one from women's, one from men's. So I'll say Aoife Valkyrie from the women's. From men's, I'll say This one's tough.
I think for men's, there's actually a couple good options.
Walter.
And this is not including the concept of breaking up a tag team right now, just because I don't want to think about it that way.
Uh-huh.
I think Morgan Webster is an option.
Okay.
I think what's his fucking name? Nathan Fraser, if you will.
Nathan Laser.
Nathan Laser. I think he's a good option.
I'm thinking beefy guys, because NXT doesn't have too many beefy guys right now. So I'm thinking like...
If you're going like... If you're on beefy, maybe Rampage.
Huh?
Said if you're thinking beefy, maybe Rampage.
I was thinking Rampage, but he doesn't have a ton of personality. I'm thinking more like, wouldn't want to split up the coffees. Maybe Shaw Samuels.
Take him from Gnome?
Noam's been on. He's been on normal NXT, so
Bring Noam back. Bring Noam back to the
no,
America.
no. He's very much needed on NXT UK. You take him
It
away,
is, I know.
you
Can
remove
you,
a lot.
double up on shifts? Um,
um, but you know what? If we're living in an ideal world, and you can split up a tag team, I'll say Mark Coffey.
fucking hate the coffee, so let's start there. It's a fair assessment.
I want to say Joe Coffey, but given the controversy around him,
There's controversy around Mark Coffee too, technically.
I thought it was just like because he didn't speak up against Joe. That's why people didn't like him.
I think I heard that he knew about what happened before everyone else kind of knew what happened. Not sure. He's not. I don't know.
This is a long conversation that would take up a lot of time on the show, so let's not delve too deep into it right now. But going back to the question, in an ideal world, in a perfect world, I would say Joe Coffey. I'm putting emphasis on a perfect world.
Okay. What woman are you bringing?
Aoife Valkyrie.
Okay. I don't know if I'd choose Aoife only because I feel like her acting skills need to be brushed up on a little more.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
Isla.
that's what you go to NXT for. Because like, not everyone on NXT is good on the mic. I mean, look at Roddy.
Um,
And he could also be like Kushida and never be on the mic. I feel like he's done everything to avoid being on the mic.
I don't think Kushida's
He speaks
doing.
kind of decent English.
I feel like it might be harder for him to be on the mic than Roddy.
Yeah.
Um, but with that said, I think it would take.
You can't take Finn Balor.
Probably take the European way of counting first.
The what?
Because the Europeans always count with the thumb out first.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid. What was that revelation that you just had there?
I am taking back Joe Coffey and I'm saying Sam Gradwell.
Really? I thought about Sam and I just kind of wrote him off.
They could do so well with just an uber aggressive dude on NXT. Like, because Karrion's pretty passive, but he's triggered into being aggressive. Sam is just constantly aggressive, and I feel like they need somebody like that in singles. Because Top Dolla's kind of like that, or Ashante. Either one.
I would take. Pull up the NXT UK roster. Am I allowed to do that?
You can. I mean, we're almost at the 2 hour mark. I don't know if you want to.
I know for women, I would probably take. Maybe. I hate to say this. Maybe Zaya.
Zaya Brookside.
Sad.
I mean,
Um. Let's see. And then I guess for men, I would either take Flash Morgan Webster or I would take. I wish it wasn't like just one person because I just bring Pretty Deadly over here.
could do that.
Make them wear normal pants. Just kidding. Love their pants.
I feel like they would be buried like Breezango, though.
Maybe Mastiff.
Dave Mastiff? Okay.
Yeah. That's a. I mean, Bronson's leaving soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really a wrestler that we have hanging around. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And then for women, I'd probably take. Maybe Danny Luna.
An option.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. Danny Luna and Dave Mastiff. Going with the D's.
I would just love to have Aoife Valkyrie on NXT so that her and Scarlett can have like magic battles, like wizard battles.
Valkyrie deserves so much more than she is currently given. And I understand that NXT UK has 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are they gonna do? But her gimmick is so good, and I think she does it better than Isla Dawn does.
Yeah.
And man, oh man.
All right, so you want to wrap up the podcast?
Yes. A big bug bite. If you tuned in tonight, thank you so much. And if you tune in the future, thank you so much. We will be back on Friday. Talking about SmackDown. So please join us then. It'll be our special Great American Podcast episode. Oh, I'll wear my July 4th shirt. Yeah.
Okay. I'll try and find mine.
Have one?
I have like a American flag tank top. Don't know where it is.
Sick. My shirt with the dogs.
Oh, isn't it a sweater?
Oh, it's just a really big. It's a size 1X shirt because I didn't realize that the store had them in, as we called them, Missy's sizes. It's a size 1X, so it's big on me, but it's got like embroidered dogs holding American flags. I'm like, this is the most patriotic I will ever be.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Follow, subscribe. Our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. Our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I am at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza23. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. But in the meantime, enjoy watching AEW Dynamite. Enjoy watching Impact. Enjoy watching fucking whatever you enjoy and watching Jeopardy. We'll see you on Friday.
I'll watch Jeopardy with you.
No, don't watch with them. They're weird.
Heel commentator Mark.
Bye.